Hello everyone, thank you for tuning into Digital Builders, where we help you build your digital future. Today we are going to take a look at Wonderland. What the heck is going on with Wonderland? Obviously, by now you've seen that the price has tanked, the price has plummeted, and this is due to the fiasco with Daniele and the CFO, SiFu, as he is commonly known on Twitter, and him potentially being a career con man. And it turns out that this rabbit hole goes very, very deep. I waited a day just to wait for the dust to settle before making this video. And the more that I looked into it, the crazier the story got. So we're gonna cover some of the stuff. We're gonna cover the players in the game. We're gonna talk about what's gonna happen with Wonderland and where do we go from here and what happens to the whole abracadabra ecosystem. And if you're an investor like I am, you're probably gonna wanna know what's going on. So before we get into anything, this is not financial advice. Nothing here is financial advice. This is just for informational and entertainment purposes only. If you like alpha, follow me on Twitter. If you are following me, you would have known yesterday that you could have gotten free money because of what's going on with this MEMO situation. I left a little hint there on my Twitter. And if you like free money, then you should follow me on Twitter. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet and you like my videos and you want to see more content like this, please do so. My goal is to hit 4,000 subscribers. We're going to get there. I think I can feel it. We're on our way. Thank you guys so much who have already subscribed. I appreciate you guys being here. I love that you love my content and that you're enjoying it and that you're watching it. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. All right, so what the heck is going on with Wonderland? Well, if we look at it by the numbers, number go down and it's not looking pretty. It's not looking pretty for anyone that's involved. Let's take a gander here. Let's get a full price history. You can see a lot of weird stuff happening in January, and there's been some speculation that the CFO, and I'm not here to like call anyone out or make accusations. Like, I don't know, like I'm the innocent till proven guilty kind of person, you know, due process, all that. I'm just going to look at the facts, see what we can find out. And then it's you decide what you think is true, and then I will sprinkle in my opinion, which is just one man's opinion, and remember I'm the village idiot, on what I think is going on. But there's some juicy stuff in here. Okay, so I'm down on time, and you know, I haven't sold yet because I don't know, maybe they bounce back, maybe they don't. I don't have enough money in there to really worry about it. I don't know where else I'm going to deploy that capital with everything I've got going on, but yeah, I'm not sure what to do at this point, but maybe after we investigate here, we'll have a little better idea on what you might be able to do if you still have money and time, or if you think it might be an opportunity to get on the rebound. But let's see. So, what prompted this story? Zach XBT, which XBT I think is the old Bitcoin ticker symbol. Let's call it that. Blew the lid off this story, called out SiFu as being a con man, and basically kind of set this whole story in motion with him being a career criminal. He actually was convicted of a fraud, and I think he did some time in the pen or did some time in federal prison from what his reporting shows. So I'm just going to read through this quick thread that Zach put out there if you guys haven't seen it yet. So basically he said this needs to be shared, and he sent this yesterday actually, about 24 to 36 hours ago. Needs to be shared that SiFu, so SiFu, if you remember, is the CFO who is being accused of embezzling funds from Wonderland DAO and the Wonderland Treasury. So he's the co-founder of Quadriga CX, Michael Patron. And I believe that's his full name, but he goes by different pseudonyms. If you're unfamiliar, that is the Canadian exchange that collapsed in 2019 after the founder, Gerald Cotton, disappeared with 169 million. Nice. Not that he ran away with people's money, but the 69 part. You get it. All right. I have confirmed with Daniele over messages. So these, always be skeptical. Like, you can't believe what you see, man. Like, draw your own conclusion, but you know, take everything with a grain of salt. Anything can be photoshopped. Not saying this is, not saying it isn't, but here is what he reported. So if we take a look here, these are screenshots from conversations between Zach and Daniele. I don't know what their relationship is. I don't know if Zach is an advisor. He might go into more detail in previous posts, but this is just what he came out with. And there are some people that seem to be relatively in the know that are supporting Zach and think that Zach's doing good work. So that kind of gives him a little more credibility. But anyway, says I came across something rather odd about that. About Dubai? No, about SiFu. Oh, Sheet, what's up? He is the Canadian guy, the Quadriga guy. And Daniele says, I cannot confirm, but I've thought about this a lot. Dangerous to be working with, sir. But yeah, it's a PR problem, said Daniele. It's actually more than a PR. I mean, it is a PR problem, but there's a reason it's such a big PR problem. Okay, it's much more than a public relations problem. I mean, maybe at that point he was already in too deep, and he's like, yeah, we just have to do damage control at this point. Let public relations handle it. He says, I don't have an answer on how we manage this if this comes out. Zach says, I can count on a single hand how many people know. All right, we started this together without knowing, says Daniele about SiFu. They started it together. And he thought he was more careful. So that's an interesting comment. I thought he was more careful. What the hell does that mean? I thought he was more careful, referring to SiFu. So interesting. It makes you wonder, like, okay, how much did Daniele know about his CFO? I mean, you don't hop into bed with somebody, especially when you're talking millions and millions, multiple millions of dollars, and Daniele is doxxed, unless he has some like serious protection and he's just a middle manager. But that's like kind of going down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole, which, I mean, it's within the realm of possibilities. That's a totally different subject though. All right, so part number 2. Prior to Quadriga, Michael helped run an identity theft ring called Shadow Crew, in which he later pled guilty to. While Danny insists it is fine, he puts both his rep on the line, along with, most importantly, all the money people have invested into the protocols, and he puts it at risk. Yes, that was a serious oversight, man. And I'll be honest, when I listen to Danny talk, he's a fantastic salesman, and he's very sincere. He's very sincere. If you listen to him talk on his AMAs or any type of talks, sincere doesn't mean truthful. It just sounds like he means what he is saying. And, most of what he said sounded good. Up until this point, I believed in him, and I believed in the projects, and I believed in the vision. I still think that the vision could have been pulled off, had it the intent maybe been a little more less scammy, for lack of a better term. Anyway, because it seems like the intent at this point was to basically pull a slow rug and to just milk this tit dry. Anyway, next. Danny says, I feel it. I don't know what to do, though. I feel like he is a good man. Spent a lot of time with him recently. Do you think I should get him should I get him out slowly? But yes, it's the highest risk to his reputation. That's what my PR security manager told him. And then Zach responds, you're willing to put your entire rep on the line and also risk everyone's money? And then Danny says, no, I'm not. Well, that's what you're doing. So, I mean, he was in probably a tough spot. But how did he get in that spot? That's my question. Like, how did the relationship with Danny and SiFu begin? What was their relationship like? What were those conversations like? It's hard to know. I don't know if that will ever come out. I mean, it might, but who knows? And then the third part of the thread, and I think it's the final part. I never would have expected this, but I can't sit on it any longer, especially after the events experience earlier this week with Time. Yeah, Zach, well, if this is all true, good on you. I think this was the appropriate thing to say, even though it totally tanked my investment. Not your fault. It was just kind of a ticking time bomb waiting to happen, and this was just kind of like the final straw that set this whole thing tumbling down. Okay, then Zach refers to a thread that ties Quadriga scam from 2019 back to SiFu.eth, and he references a thread from earlier, like 2 years ago, by Tay. So you can check out Tay Vano. It looks like she's an investigative journalist of some sort, and then you can kind of dig into her her analysis, and she kind of like shows her work supporting the claims of how there were funds moved that were very suspicious, and kind of uses that as evidence to conclude that, you know, SiFu in fact did this intentionally. Is what it appears to me. So you can take a look at her. That's Tyvano, and then the other guy, and then this guy is, I'm assuming it's a guy, Zach XBT on Twitter, so you can follow along with them and kind of get the more developments to the story because they are more intimate with it. But I'll try to like aggregate it together and curate my content to kind of highlight the main points. So how did the team respond? Let's take a look at how the team responded. Actually, before we get to that, let's look at the impact that happened. We already talked about what happened with TIME Wonderland. That has just been an absolute dumpster fire. And it has had ripple effects throughout the entire Wonderland DAO ecosystem and Abracadabra, because those were all kind of pieces to a greater whole. You had Sushi Swap that was going to be part of it. You had Spell, which is going to help you collateralize loans. You have a potential merger coming up with Abracadabra, and I think it's the Time funds essentially, or the DAO essentially. You have Popsicle Finance, which is the market maker, which has fallen from grace as well, but that one has been slowly bleeding out anyway. And then you have the wMEMO, which I don't know, man, if that's gonna come back or what. But looks like it has bottomed out at about 20K. We'll see what happens. I'm still holding on to mine. I think it's still compounding. I don't know if I'll ever get paid on it. I have no idea. That is one solution. They're talking about just closing time down, shutting down Wonderland and paying people out. They're also talking about a solution which they have a proposal out to merge Wonderland with Abracadabra. So if you're interested in that, you can go to wonderlandforum.xyz and try to understand what that means. I believe there's going to be, if it goes through, could be some dilution happening. If you hold Spell, you might get diluted a little bit, but you just have to read through the details. I don't own much Spell. I almost bought a big old bag of it like the day before the lid broke on this story. So I'm glad that I held off on it. So I'm just keeping my little tiny little pouch of Spell token for now, you know, on the off chance that it rebounds in a miraculous way. But you never know. Like, we're in unprecedented territory. You never know what could happen. Companies do recover from disaster. Companies do recover from infidelity like this, or fraud such as this. I mean, a few examples I could point to. Volkswagen, I think that was, years ago. But I think they had some safety issues and their stock plummeted, and then it bounced back up. I mean, now, like, you wouldn't even know that it happened. You know, I think it was more than 5 years ago, so you wouldn't even see it on a chart. But yeah, I think the stock price just like took a plunge. It was free falling, but it recovered, and I think people like died. I think people actually died, potentially. I don't know. Don't sue me, please. VW, I think you make great vehicles. You know, you're not the only ones that have potentially done that. Can't confirm or deny, but it's just something I heard. It's a rumor. You guys got to fact check that for yourself. But yeah, just go to E-Trade and look at the or CNN, not CNN Money, but like MSNBC Money, and just look at their stock symbol, and then you can kind of deduce from there what the heck happened. All right. Now, so point being is this could come back. It could come back. Somebody could swoop in and salvage this project because, like, it had some merit to it, and it was an experiment after all. And, you know, you had to somewhat expect that you could lose it all and you could lose all your money. I mean, you're not going to be, odds are very small that everyone was going to be getting a Lambo out of this. But, you know, it was interesting to be a part of and kind of see this project develop and understand how the community built around it and how they kind of rallied together to solve problems, et cetera, et cetera. But this is kind of cool. I mean, the community is still like talking and interacting. So it's like people made friends over this. They bonded over Wonderland. So I guess that's a silver lining, right? They're bonding in their hatred of a common enemy, who right now appears to be Danny and the Wonderland DAO system. I'm just being dramatic here, but honestly, people, they're trying to make the best of it. You know, they're having fun with it here in the chat. Anyway, which is actually good to see. And it looks like Danny has had some death threats, which is never a good thing. He also said that he's going to put out a proposal today, it looks like, to give back all the funds at treasury value or continue buybacks and add in new management. Probably a good idea, especially that last one. You probably want to get new management, and you want to get SiFu, strip his keys, figure out how to do it. The only thing is, like, the trust is so broken. Like, how can you prove? People are going to question things now, which they should. But how are you going to prove that SiFu is fully out and he doesn't have the keys anymore? Like, you're going to have to, like, put this money in a totally different place. At least that's my understanding of how this would work, because you don't want him on the multi-sig. You don't want him to have access to any of the current addresses that are out there, any of the current wallets or contracts that are out there. Okay. Let's see what else happened. So Andre, he was, him and Daniele were pals. They were buddies. They were chummy. That's what it looked like on social media, at least. And he has begun distancing himself from this dumpster fire, as an intelligent person would. He says he supports Danny. I'm sure he does. I mean, they have like a common interest and common goals in some ways, it appears. Still plans on working with him, sure. But there are lines. A history of consistent fraud, theft, and malicious behavior isn't a mistake. It's intent. You know, I tend to agree with that. Having SiFu manage funds can be argued as negligence. Okay, so cooler heads are prevailing here with Andre. I think that's a pretty well-constructed announcement or statement. Danny knew for months. Dang, dude, ratting him out? That means, did you know for months? You got to wonder what Andre knew. Anyway, and in that time, SiFu was handling funds. I don't know what psyops. I don't know what's going on. I want to get off this Willy Wonka's magical ride. So I don't know if he's pleading ignorance here or what, but I mean, Andre is not a dumb guy. I don't know what he knew, what he didn't know, how much of this was like fable between like their relationship and partnership and being pals, and these like iconic duo in this talking about Daniele and Andre being like this iconic duo in this innovative space. And these crypto cavaliers, as one might say. So what the hell is this? Free money? What? I gotta take a look at that here after this. Anyway, yeah. Then we got to see what's gonna happen with this VE project. That kind of, I think that's kind of on pause, right, or kind of on hold. Anyway, Phantom kind of took a dump too. Okay, so yeah, we'll see what happens with Andre. I mean, I think he's going to keep building, keep developing. These things happen, scandals happen, keeps things interesting. Hopefully he didn't have too much money in there. And I wish you the best of luck, and hopefully we get those funds back. I was in there too. Merlin, he's a dev. He created Abracadabra Money. He's the one running the show there. Not much of a tweeter. He's more of a builder behind the scenes, it looks like. And he's out here just reminding people, hey guys, Abra's smart contract team continues to be independent to drive forward on the technical goals of the product and the protocol. I'm confident in our abilities and excited about the future. Let's see if we got any good information here. Frog Nation. So, I mean, if you want to dive in, there's like a whole, I mean, the frogs, we got some frogs, we got some tadpoles, we got some people asking questions. Yeah, you got to keep the pressure on. But be fair, like make sure that it's like fair pressure. But yeah, if you have questions, ask them. Get out here, ask questions, be objective, and try to get the facts, okay? And don't take facts from one source. Like take information from like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 different sources, at least 3, and kind of like triangulate the information and then like come to your own conclusion about what's going on and have like facts and logic to back it up. Okay. Next up, you can check out the proposal, which I talked about, and we already went over, what is going on with the price action. Will it come back? It could bounce back, but I don't know. I don't know what to do as far as like, would you sell here? Is time going to zero? Is memories going to zero? I don't know. It looks pretty bleak. It looks pretty bleak. Good chance that it does. It could bounce back. Like I said, I'm just going to leave it in there. I made up my mind in the beginning, like, hey, I'm just going to ride this to zero. If it goes to zero, and I'm not even gonna mess with it. It's such a small amount at this point that it's probably not even worth it. So SiFu, this is the guy, this is the suspect, the CFO that is being accused of tampering with funds that did not belong to him, and apparently has a track record of ill intent with his business dealings, if you want to even call it business. I mean, I guess it could be. So it's a loose definition of it, but con men do have their own business expertise, I suppose. So this guy SiFu, this is a character from Kung Fu Panda, and I was like, interesting. I never saw that movie. What's it about? So I looked at, this is just kind of funny, a list of characters, and Master SiFu, this is the guy. Okay, he's a red panda. At first I thought it was a rat, and I was like, no way, that is hilarious. If this guy is a rat and ends up being a rat, I'm gonna like lose my mind. That is just like divine comedy, I guess. Would you even call it? Is that the right term to use? I don't know. But then I was like, all right, doing some background. Who did he pick to represent himself? A red panda, okay. He's the headmaster, Master SiFu. He's the headmaster of the Jade Palace and the trainer of the Furious Five. He joined the palace with his father, the con artist Shai Rong. Abandoned him there. The con artist. SiFu, con artist. SiFu, con artist. It's just funny. It's it's an interesting coincidence that SiFu has a lineage of con artistry, and here he is right now, being accused of conning people out of millions of dollars. So we shall see how the events unfold. Let me know what you guys think. It's just it's too murky right now. We don't have all the facts. Will Wonderland come back? Will it bounce back, or will it shut down for good? I don't know. I think Abra still has a chance to survive. Sushi swap, I don't know about sushi anymore, man. I mean, anything Daniele touches for a while, he's got a lot to prove. He's got a hole to dig himself out of. But we'll just keep tabs. It could be an opportunity to buy low if you believe the team can pull it off. But for now, I'm just in a wait and see mode. I'm going to keep an eye on it, wait for the dust to settle a little bit more before I pull the trigger on anything. So what do you guys think about this whole situation? Like, were you involved in Wonderland? Like, what information do you guys have on Danny and his relationship with SiFu? How is Andre connected, if he is at all? Have you guys done any research or have any questions outstanding? Let me know in the comments below. Let's get a good conversation going and kind of talk through this and what we think might happen next. This was helpful for you. Please please subscribe. It lets me know that you guys like my content so I can keep making it. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you are the first to know whenever something new comes out. And it's kind of important because with this whole fiasco going on, then there was a silver lining where you literally could have got... For like clicking a button, you could have made money for free. So follow me on Twitter, like and sub. Thank you guys so much for being here. I love you all. Have a good day. Stay safe out there. Bye for now.